Moist and tender chocolate cake layers filled with the most rich and decadent chocolate fudge frosting. This is my Eggless Matilda chocolate cake recipe. I recently shared a Matilda cake recipe and so many of you wanted to know how you can make it eggless, so here is the eggless version. Mix flour, salt, and baking powder and set that aside, and in a separate bowl combine together some Greek yogurt, granulated sugar, vanilla extract, and some baking soda. Yogurt and baking soda is going to be the egg substitute in this recipe and it makes the cake so soft and tender. Next, in a microwave safe jug or bowl, combine together some unsalted butter, vegetable oil, whole milk or any other type of milk, and some instant espresso. Microwave that until it's fully melted and is still warm to the touch, and then we're going to add in some Dutch processed cocoa powder. Give that a good mix, and next we're going to add half of this delicious cocoa mixture into the yogurt mixture. Adding the cocoa powder into the hot mixture blooms it, which makes its flavor so much more intense. Next, we're going to add half of the pre-mixed dry ingredients and give that a good mix, and then we're going to add in the remaining cocoa and milk mixture, give that a good whisk, and finally add in all of the remaining dry ingredients. Give this a good whisk until it is fully incorporated, and remember not to overmix your batter. Divide the batter between 3, 7, or 8-inch cake pans, and then bake these for around 30 minutes until they're fully cooked through. Once baked, let those cool down in the pan for around 5 minutes before flipping them out onto a cooling rack to cool down completely. For the fudge frosting, combine together some heavy cream, unsalted butter, some powdered sugar, cocoa powder, instant espresso, vanilla extract, and a whole lot of dark chocolate. Melt this on a low flame or in a microwave until it is fully melted like this. Transfer this into a separate bowl, cover with some plastic wrap, and refrigerate this for around 30 to 40 minutes. Once refrigerated, this is what your frosting should look like. Silky smooth and so rich, you will be tempted to eat this frosting just as is, but don't do that because adding it to the cake makes it so good. Now to assemble the cake, you're going to start off with the first layer and soak the cake in some milk or simple syrup. Then you're going to add 1/4 of the frosting, spread that out evenly, then add your second cake layer. Repeat again with soaking the cakes in some milk and adding another 1/4 of the frosting. Spread that out and add on the last layer with the flat side facing up, and then add all of your remaining frosting on top of the cake. Use an offset spatula to spread that out evenly on the top and sides of your cake. This does not need to look perfect. In fact, this cake is supposed to look messy. And to give it that iconic rustic look, I use the back of a spoon to just make these swirls all over the top and sides of the cake. And there you have it, an eggless version of the iconic Matilda chocolate cake. So if you can't eat eggs, don't worry, you're not going to miss out on this delicious cake. The cake is so moist and delicious, and the fudge frosting is definitely my favorite part. And if you want to make this even better, I highly recommend trying it with some milk. Just take some regular milk and pour it all over your cake and have it like that. It tastes just like a decadent and fudgy chocolate delicious. The full detailed recipe is available on my website, thefoodflamingo.com, and you can find a link to that in my bio. Make sure to try it out.